Welcome to Chapter 5, Section 4. Please put this in your notebook so you're going to write down this title. We're looking at comparing ratios. Again, remember you can pause the video when you need to pause and you can move on when you're ready to move on. Sometimes I'll ask you to copy things down and pause the video and then move on when you're ready to move on. So you do not need to copy down my example. This is just showing how I'm comparing the amount of caffeine in different amounts of liquid. So if I want to compare how much caffeine is in a grande cup of Starbucks coffee, I'd actually have to drink 3 cups of this coffee. I'd have to drink 5.5 cans of Red Bull. I'd have to drink, gosh, what is that, 7 cans of soda. Or, oh my gosh, I'd have to drink a ton of tea to look at equal amounts of caffeine. So that's what this section is going to look at. So copy this example down into your notebook. So you might want to pause the video so that you can get all this in your notes. When you're ready to move on, go ahead and push play, and then you can hear and understand what I'm doing. So example 1, I want to compare ratios by using a table. There's many different ways we can compare our ratios, but we're going to use a table. So if you notice, I have my 2 tables down below. So you should have those in your notes. So you mix 4 drops of flavor, here's my 4 drops of flavor, in 12 ounces of water. In one of my examples. My other one, I have 7 drops of flavor in 18 ounces of water. Which mixture has more flavor? Gosh, what am I going to do? Well, the only way I can compare these two is to have a common denominator, common multiple. So we can either have equal amounts of water and see which one has more flavor. So how can I get 12 and 18 to be the same? What's a common multiple of both 12 and 18? So we need to figure out what is the least common multiple of both 12 and 18. So let's look. 12 times 2 is 24. Can't get 18 to 24. 12 times 3 is 36. Can I get 18 to 36? I sure can. By multiplying that times 2, I'm going to multiply this one times 3. So now I have equal amounts of water, so now I can compare which one has more flavor. So I have to multiply this times 3. So 4 times 3 gives me 12. Then I have to multiply this one times 2, so 14. So this one, the 18 ounce, has more flavor because if I get the equal amounts of water, this has more flavor for number 14. Again, I'm not wanting to make sure you understand this completely. This is just practice, and we're going to go over these tomorrow during class. So let's practice some more with our next example. So copy this down into your notebook. You're going to try this one on your own. So you mix 8 tablespoons of hot sauce. So again, that's kind of like our flavor. So you can look at the previous example. And 3 cups of salsa. That would be similar to our water. In a Red Bull. So here's my Red Bull. So you're going to want to probably fill in your chart. So here's your hot sauce. And here is your salsa. And then I have 12 tablespoons of hot sauce. So again, like my last example, that would be your flavor. And you have 4 cups of salsa. So that would be similar to your water. So let's get our salsa to be the same. That's salsa on the bottom. Let's get that amount to be the same and then see which one has more hot sauce. When you're finished, go ahead and put your answer in the text box on the right. Now we're looking at example 2, comparing unit rates. So remember, unit rates are per 1. So go ahead and copy this down. You might need to pause the video. When you're done copying this down, go ahead and hit play, and then you can understand what we're doing. And I have steps down here at the bottom in case you want some steps. So I have a 6-pound bag of cat food, and it has a cost of $12.84. And then I have a 16-pound bag of cat food that's $33.92. Which bag is a better buy? So I want to get these each to how much they are per 1. So how do I get from 16 to 1? I divide by 16. How do I get from 6 to 1? I divide by 6. So we might have to do a little bit of long division. So if I do my long division, I find that one bag, because I divided 12.84 divided by 6, I get 2.14. So that's how much one bag. So now I need to take this other one, and I need to do my favorite long division, and I need to take 33.92. I need to divide that by 16, and I get $2.12. Gosh, so which one is a better buy? The one that's cheaper. So my 16-pound bag is a better buy. Okay, so we're going to do another example. So this one you're going to do on your own, so copy this down into your notebook, and you're going to follow exactly what we just did. So yep, now we have some gum. So we have a 30-pack and a 32-pack of gum. So the 31 is $4.83, and the 32-pack of gum is $4.96. So which is a better deal? So calculate your answer, and then put your answer in the text box on the right. So we're actually going to practice using some charts to also calculate. So copy this down into your notebook, and then when you're ready, you have that all copied down, go ahead and push play so you can hear what I'm saying. So we have a leopard gecko, eats 2 ounces of food in 3 days. So here's my gecko, here's days and amount of food they eat. Bearded dragon eats about 4 ounces of food in 5 days. So I need you to complete the ratio table. Which lizard eats more? So we can show our fun numbers by, we went from 3 to 6, so we multiplied times 2. So 2 times 2 gives me 4. I always go back to the original to do my calculations in case I've made a mistake. So 3 times 3 is 9, so 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12, so is 8. And 3 times 5 is 15, so that gives me 10. So now let's look at the bearded dragon. So I multiply times 2, so multiply times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. Okay, so which lizard eats more per day? So let's find out, is there any days when we have, any time when we have same days? Yep, we have 15 and 15 days. So that would be equal. Now I can compare. My gecko eats 10 ounces. My bearded dragon eats 12. So the bearded dragon actually eats more per day because I've made that number of days equal. So we're going to practice this some more. Okay, now we want to graph this to show which eats more per day. So we're going to use 2 different colors. So for a leopard gecko, to me leopard geckos are sometimes green, so I'm going to use green. Oh, but what do I need to do first? I need to have some numbers. I need to figure out what I'm putting on the X and what I'm putting on the Y. So usually the X is time, so I'm going to do days. And then over here, the Y, I'm going to do the amount of food. So I can't really use the numbers as I see them for days because they're not the same. But I could count by 2s. So I could do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So I'm going to stop at 20. And then the amount of food goes from 2 to 20. So I could count by 2s again. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So now I can actually graph. So again, I'm going to use green for my gecko. So if I'm going to graph, I want to go over 3 days. So that's halfway between 2 and 4, and up to 2 for food. Next, I want to go over to 6. So I'm looking at my chart. I go over 6 days, and I go up 4 ounces of food. Now I want to go to 9 days, which is halfway between 8 and 10, and I want to go up to 6 ounces of food. Okay, now I'm going to go to 12 days, up to 8 ounces of food. I should get a straight line. If I don't have a straight line, I have an oopsied. I want to go to 15 days, which is halfway between 14 and 16, and up to 10 ounces, whoopsie, of food. Okay, and then I'm going to draw a straight line, and I'm going to label that as my gecko. Okay, bearded dragon. Oh gosh, what color could a bearded dragon be? We're going to make him orange. Okay, so bearded dragon, I want to go over to 5 days, halfway between 4 and 6, up to 4. Put a dot. I want to go to 10 days, so I'm going to go over to 10 and up 8, because that's my food. I'm going to go over 15, which is halfway between 14 and 16, up to 12. I'm going to go over to 20 and up to 16 for food for my beardy dragon. Oopsie. And I'm going to make a straight line. Notice my colors go with the names, so we can see that the bearded dragon actually eats more food. Okay, this is our last slide, so you're going to do this on your own. So it's the same exact kind of question that we just did, except now we're looking at an elephant eating 250 pounds of food in 3 days, and a hippo eating 450 pounds in 5 days. So I want you to complete the ratio table as you see it, and then I also want you to graph. You won't be able to put this into the text box on the right, but on the text box on the right, I would like you to just put C, you're going to write down C notes. Look at my notes, Mrs. Miller. See the notes. So I should see this in your notes tomorrow with this data table filled in and a sweet little graph made. If you need help, we can go over this tomorrow. I'll see you in class.